Got a bit of a wild story for you guys today, so you might want to sit down and buckle in your seatbelts on your racing gaming chairs. This one's just been doing its absolute rounds on the internet recently, and a few people have brought it to light. To give you the quick rundown, basically, a kid got disqualified at a Pokemon tournament for merely uncomfortably just laughing when the judge asked a 16-year-old, a kid, what his preferred pronouns were, and he couldn't think of anything on the top of his head. So he just kind of awkwardly laughed. Anyway, as a result of that, he got completely banned, disqualified, kicked out of the venue, and just honestly just like left on the streets. A kid. It's a wild story, and it kind of pisses me off a little bit, I can't lie. There is a GoFundMe for this that I actually saw here, which is nice that there's at least a happy ending at the end of this. I feel like you guys know my stance on sort of wokeness and just going way too far sometimes. Look, I think it goes without saying, if you have preferred pronouns, absolutely, I respect that. But you're really just gonna kick out a kid at a venue to just go off by himself just because he offended you, a full-grown adult? Boo-hoo. Like, and he wasn't even like nasty about it, by the way. This wasn't like a malicious laugh to take the piss. So let me break down the story properly. A teenager who plays the Pokemon trading card game at a high competitive level was reportedly disqualified from a tournament after he laughed when an official asked for his pronouns. Makani Tran was out $800, which, by the way, he used his own money to pay for a flight to come here and to do this tournament. Look, for a kid, this is like a big deal. I've watched Pokemon, I don't play it or anything, and I haven't for a long time, but I could imagine for like a kid, this would be quite a big deal. I mean, $800 for a kid is definitely a lot. I remember getting $5 once, and I thought I could live off that for the rest of my life. So when I was his age, so my guy probably really thought he had the option between buying a house or going to this, and he chose this. But he spent his own money to come to this tournament that he was very passionate about, a couple of flights, and missed school time after he offered a non-binary Pokemon TCG judge cutting his tournament run permanently short for a bizarre reason, because he got offended. Wow, guys, who could have seen that coming? Someone getting offended in 2023? Think about the story that just kind of like pisses me off is the fact that it's just a kid. Anyway, the teenager says that he never meant to offend anyone, and he was close to tears when he was disqualified. The Charlotte-based tournament was live streaming the TCG matches online. When Tran approached the live streaming booth for his match, he says he was stopped by a judge who asked for his preferred pronouns. Which, like, bro, even this off the get-go, like, really? And if you are going to do that, fair enough. I can see that being a nice thing, maybe perhaps thoughtful, whatnot. But if this isn't a big deal to someone, why make it a big deal? Anyway, Tran says he was set to face off against one of the United States' biggest Pokemon TCG players, Alex. And nerves had him laughing awkwardly. On our way over to the stream area, the judge asked us for our preferred pronouns. Tran says, I said, he, or him, or, and I paused, trying to think of the third pronoun being his. As I just stood there looking stupid, trying to think of a third pronoun, I left embarrassed because I was failing to think of a simple word. Which also, can I just bring to light the fact that this kid is being live streamed and probably, I can imagine, thousands of people watching. Yeah, bro, I would probably stutter on my words too. Hey, I record these YouTube videos and it's just me and I stutter all the time, let alone a kid being asked a question like this on the spot. Like, come on, man, really? Due to the nerves and me being embarrassed, I left out a little laugh, just a normal nervous laugh. My response together ended up being, he or him or ha, his. Tran adds. That's it. That's all I said. And that's nuts. Like, isn't that insane? Like, are we not reaching at this point just trying to find things to get offended about? Like, honestly, the fact that this upset a full-grown person, a fully grown adult, is like baffling to me. When does common sense like just not come into play? Where you look at that, you clearly see it's a kid and you're like, okay, bro, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, you're fine. It's fine. No, instead he got triggered, bro, and had him disqualified. I've never watched any of these Pokemon tournaments, but I'm assuming, just reading from this article, I'm imagining a lot of them probably like to power trip, I'm assuming, especially this judge. Like, what are you really getting out of that anyway? Just telling a kid to be disqualified, really? After reaching the stream area, Tran says that he and Alex again were asked for their preferred pronouns. And again, Tran says he laughed nervously when answering. Tran then says that he has zero issue with people with pronouns and how they choose to identify and express themselves, which, yeah, like obviously, bro, it's a kid. And it's the same here, and I'm assuming it's probably the same for a lot of people that watch this type of stuff, right? Just in general, like no one particularly minds that much. If you really go out of your way and it really bothers you, absolutely. Bro, I don't mind. I'll use your like preferred pronouns, but you gotta understand at the same time that not everybody follows it so religiously as you. Like some people just don't make their whole pronouns and all this their entire identity. They don't want to waste their time on it. If you want to and you find that makes you happier, then yeah, sure, go for it. But also when people aren't on the same level as you about that, like don't get all in a fit about it. Tran adds that he has never had issues with it and never will, because at the end of the day it's their choice and it doesn't affect my life. As long as people are happy, I'm happy. Which, right, I mean, it's, you know, it's a pretty grown-up thing to say, just coming from a kid, to be honest, and I totally agree with that statement 100%. However, the judge who was asking preferred pronouns took offense really to the laughter, according to the young Pokemon TCG player. Okay, just wanted to check to be safe, Tran says, the judge told him. I'll go by they, them. So don't be a jerk about it. Bro, in what world do you say that to a 16-year-old? Okay, bro, you don't have to be a jerk about it. What, did the judge run off crying or something backstage? I'm offended by a 16-year-old. Really, bro? Really? That was your response to a kid? How did the judge not get kicked out for that? Are you kidding me? Like, really? You're gonna say that to a kid? Bro, any parents who are watching this right now, could you imagine if a full-grown adult just said that to your kid who clearly isn't being nasty or malicious or anything like that? Which, by the way, this whole thing has been streamed so people can see what's going on, and you're gonna say something like that? Really? Wow. Cool, dude. The judge allegedly added. Tran says that at the time he didn't think much of the judge's comments and headed off to play against Alex. After playing the game, one of his series against Alex, Tran says judges approached the two players at the final moments of, which you guys, I'm just going to play here. So the whole match here was about 22 minutes pretty much. And then you can kind of see like a little bit towards the end. I don't know why the video got cut off, especially if it's a live stream. I'm assuming that the whole clip got played in full when it actually happened, but this is what happened so far. So from what I'm gathering is they literally just finished their game and the judges are kind of off screen telling them stuff.
It was still back and forth there for these players throughout the entire game, so that was awesome to see. But
that's all you can really see. There's not really a whole lot from the video. Like, so you can pull it up and see it here. There's really not much to see. Otherwise, I would be showing the video, believe me. Show that both Tran and Alex were left confused by the judge's interruption of their match, which, yeah, I can at least see that at least. Tran says that the judges first talked with Alex before talking with him, but because he had headphones on, he could not hear them. The judges then asked Tran through the headset how he had answered the pronoun question. Like, bro, are you so caught up on this that this is literally all you think about? It just ruins everything. Does it not, like, just ruin everything? Like, whatever you're gonna do in life, and if you want to be a judge at one of these things, if that's all you're like fixated on, like hell, why even have hobbies at that point? You're just ruining everything for everyone. Let it go. Holy shit, dude. Tran says that he told them what he said and added that he laughed awkwardly. After some more talking, Tran says that the head judge pulled out the tournament's rulebook on the phone and told the young TCG player that he was disqualified for violating their exclusive policy, as he has made someone feel unsafe and unsafe. This kid is like this tall, bro. What do you mean unsafe? A full-grown adult said because he felt a bit awkward, this kid made him feel unsafe. I mean, I don't blame him. Have you seen this unit? I'm making a video on him and I'm feeling a little bit unsafe. What weird fairyland are we living in? He made me not feel safe. I like to just think that the judge is just in the back, sitting on like another judge's lap, crying, and the other judge is just kind of like, it's okay. Come and sit on my knee. What did the young player say? Are you okay? The judge is just crying. Use the wrong pronouns. It's okay. It's okay. Like, bro, if you're going to be this offended whenever you leave the house, maybe just don't. Maybe don't leave your house. Maybe just stay indoors all day. Oh man, I was disqualified from the event. I was just in disbelief, Tran said. I remember saying, wait, what? I was so confused. I had just explained very calmly what had happened, and he seemed that he was listening at this point. I'm just at the verge of tears and I try my best to keep my composure, Tran adds. I just couldn't understand what was happening. Like, could you imagine you're in the, I think he was in the finals here. You spent $800 of your own money to come and fly. This is a big deal for you. You have missed out on school and it's been completely ruined by some full-grown adult that got offended. Tran says that he asked the tournament officials if he could appeal the disqualification, but they refused. I have never been treated so unbelievably unfair and had such an opportunity just taken from me. Something I didn't even do, Tran says. The judge said that while he believed that I had no bad intentions, it didn't matter because at the end of the day, someone was offended and upset. So I believe that you didn't do it in bad tension, which is the whole point of why you're being kicked out right now. You see Jason over there, the judge, the big guy? He's crying, man. You upset him with words. So with that all being said, friends of Tran also set up a GoFundMe account to help him recoup the cost of his trip that ended up with him disqualified. The GoFundMe had an original goal of 1,500 but has since gotten over 5,500 as of the time of writing this article. And by the way, so we go on there now and it's like, it's wild. Dude, I love to see this. I really do. And right now it's like nearly $7,500, which is just wild. Like, thank God that the kid could at least make his, well, money back and then some. If you guys can't already tell from the tone of my voice from this whole video, I think this is just complete BS. I think the judge that did this should be disqualified and should never be able to judge ever again. If you're ever going to say what you said to that kid, where you said, don't be a jerk, and then kick him out and have a whole fucking little tantrum over this, I just don't think you're fit enough to be a judge for something like this. Clearly, you're the unstable one here. But yeah, I love to see it. I'm going to leave a link in the description, just in case any of you guys want to go check out this and the GoFundMe. Trent actually made a whole post as well, which I would read out, but as you guys can see, it's pretty long. Which again, just from that, you can tell that the kid's really been thinking about this. He's probably traumatized, you know, and as nice as it is to see the GoFundMe do so well, you know, this is probably going to affect him for a long time. This would be traumatizing. Could you imagine this happening to you when you're a kid on stream as well? Wild story. Absolutely wild. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are your thoughts and opinion on this? Was the judge justified? I don't think so. Or should he be disqualified?